Today's episode is brought to you by Gustafson and Sons Towing, located at 29 Davis Road in Milanville, Pennsylvania. Gustafson and Sons Towing can handle a variety of services that you may need. Aside from 24-hour towing, they also handle winch outs, long hauls, shed moving, small or medium storage container moving, lockouts, jump starts, emergency roadside fuel delivery, and roadside emergency tire repairs. Got a junk car that you want removed? He'll buy that too and get it off your property. Go ahead and check him out over on Facebook at Gustafson and Sons Towing, on TikTok at Gustafson Sons Towing, or give him a call at 570-280-5890. If your car needs a ride but your wallet doesn't, call Gustafson and Sons Towing, 570-280-5890.
So we're not going to be in the wrestling stream tonight. Yes, I'm wearing a Red Sox hat to support Chris, but I wanted to show you guys what we're eating. Fuck you. Fuck you, chicken. Justin's excited. We're having a good time. Enjoy the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another fantastic episode of Squared Circle Sessions, an NDT media product. Welcome into the show. Alongside me, I have my special guest co-host, Alex. Say hi.
Hi.
She's super nervous, but super excited because she's a super wrestling fan just like I am. Thank you so much, Aaron, for giving us that fantastic intro.
Hi, Lisa.
I hope you guys have a wonderful time in New York.
You want to do a wrestle?
You want to do a wrestle? So look at this beautifully amazing lady. Yes, she is wonderful. She is fantastic. She has better thoughts than I do on the topic of wrestling. So we're gonna get some good stuff out of her. We had to keep this rolling, keep this going, even though Justin and Aaron are out doing their own thing, enjoying their own stuff this fine Wednesday evening. So we'll get right into it because we have a PLE to wrap up. We've got Bash in Berlin that happened this past weekend. We got to watch it without Lena, so it was kind of quiet without my daughter.
It was quiet.
It was kind of nice. No, I'm just kidding because we love I love the fact that my daughter likes wrestling and likes to watch with us now too. It gives us something to bond over. It's nice to have her with us. She did miss it because she was working this weekend, but I digress. So we're going to get back into Bash in Berlin. We're going to start with the very first match that came out of that, which was Cody Rhodes versus KO. This was a weird build-up. I kind of thought we'd see a heel turn from either one of them. They were really teasing at Kevin Owens being heel for this match. Like a lot of the stuff they did the last 2 weeks, especially leading up to the PLE, kind of seemed like KO was going to do something dirty. Did you think the same thing?
I don't know. I feel like they really wanted you to think that, but it was kind of like not underwhelming, but it was kind of like you could tell they didn't want to beat each other up that bad.
It's
in some parts.
It's almost like they wanted you to have this anticipation of a heel turn or something and for something crazy to happen. So you're sitting there on the edge of your seat through the whole match expecting something more to happen, and it didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't. So KO had an opportunity to go after Cody because they teased that knee injury. They really played on that because they did a whole European tour the week leading up, and Kevin Owens is like, oh, I know you hurt your knee, and you're not 100%. I don't want to wrestle you. I don't want people to say if I beat you or when I beat you. He said,
Yeah.
When I beat you, I don't want people to talk about that. I don't know, man. They got to a point where in the match, Kevin Owens could have went after the knee and he hesitated. So they tried to be a little theatrical with that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like the match was really lackluster because you knew that Cody was going to win.
Yeah. I think it was underwhelming. I do.
And then they try to go balls to the wall with some of the stuff they did. The beginning of the match is really, I think the beginning of the match took too long to get into it. You had that built up anticipation thinking what's going to happen. And then they really, headlocks and pushing each other around a little bit until they really got into it. I know if Justin was here, he'd be like, but that's the storytelling. Yeah. It was a slow build. And once they got into it, you're expecting them to do a heel turn. It's a story. It's all about the storytelling, man.
Yeah. I don't know. It was whatever. I didn't think it was that great.
And Robbie says, I hate that it was the first match.
Yes.
So
I was surprised it was the first match.
Yes.
Actually.
So I like to joke now that I'm playing WWE 2K24 and I've finally started the GM mode, Robbie. So they try to tell you have to have your best matches as your bookends. So your first match and your last match have to be your most exciting. So that tells me that they thought Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens was going to be one of the more exciting matches. And I get it. It was for the championship. It was for the Universal title. I get it. It's supposed to be exciting, but it's not. Like it just wasn't. You knew what was going to happen. If they wanted it to be exciting, they had to make that heel turn, I think.
Yeah. And they just didn't. It was just like, okay.
Well, Kevin
both still good guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and at the end, Kevin Owens kind of hesitated to give him a handshake. I
don't know. Something's going to happen eventually there, I guess. With somebody, one of them's gonna have turn. But
here's the crazy thing, though. Everybody keeps saying that Cody's run is boring. It's so lackluster. He's not a great champion. This, that, and the other. And I've said it before. He gives it a 4 out of 10. I've said it before. The reason I think that Cody's run has not been that great is because outside of the bloodline, you have no real heels that can contend for the world title, the Universal title, on SmackDown.
SmackDown, I think, has been just a little bit boring lately.
It's because they have no one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the top of the Raw roster, the guys that can compete for the heavyweight title
has been like crazy exciting.
They've got so many people, and now Sami Zayn's throwing his name into the hat out of nowhere for the world title.
Yeah, I mean, Sami's good though.
He's entertaining. He's entertaining, but to go from being an intercontinental contender to world title contender is like without any kind of like lead up to it, I think is crazy. Aside from the fact that, Gunther, I beat you already. But anyway, I think there needs to be a shift. I think there needs to be a shift in talent. They need to trade people around. They should have done better with the draft or something where they moved people from Raw to SmackDown. And I know they're really trying to build Gunther up. They're really trying to prop him up there.
Yeah.
But I think if they had Orton win, then you set that up with Cena eventually for next year, his retirement tour, and you move Gunther over to SmackDown to give Cody that rivalry that he's going to need after the bloodline.
Yeah.
After that feud's over.
I'm not a fan of Gunther.
Robbie, he is the #1 merch seller. That definitely helps him keep the title.
I mean, I think Cody's a hell of a wrestler. He puts on a great show.
Yeah.
And he gets the crowd super into it. I just think that he just hasn't had great matches. Like I thought him and Kevin Owens was a weird match just because they're like buddies and
everything's getting super predictable.
Yeah.
Like you can see what's going to happen. Yeah, every time there's a main event match or like a big title match, they're kicking out of like 3 finishers easy.
Yeah.
And then you had Cody Rhodes go for the Crossroads Trinity, trying to go for the 3 Crossroads. He hits the 2, and then he goes for the 3rd one, and Kevin Owens comes out of nowhere and hits him with a stunner. As he's getting an ass whooping, he hits him with a stunner.
Yeah.
Like no other situation he would do that. CM calls him out, then back to Drew. Yeah, so we'll get to that one in just a little bit. Let's move on to the next match of the night, which was Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against the Unholy Alliance. What'd you think of that match?
I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Obviously, I like Bianca. She's my favorite. I'm not a huge fan of Isla Dawn and Fire. I don't know. And I feel like I should, because that's like totally my vibe. I totally like all that. Like,
I know. That's why I'm
witchy
surprised
stuff.
you don't like them.
I don't know. They're just like, meh. They're all right.
It's because you think Isla Dawn is trashy. Admit it.
Yeah, I do.
Admit it.
It's listening to them talk that I think they sound like.
Yeah? So you think it's their mic work that takes away from it?
I don't know. It's just their faces.
So I kind of thought that the Unholy Alliance was going to win this one because
I forgot that's what they were called. So
Yeah.
at first I had to think about it.
like, I thought they were going to win because I thought we were going to put to bed this Cargill and Bianca tag team. So, and I keep saying to her every time we watch this, when you have two individuals that come out to their own music as a tag team, they should not be the tag champions. That's like when you team up with someone for a short length of time, that's what you do. If you're a true tag team and you're a tag team champion, you come out to the same music. You are a team. That's how you show you're a team. They keep coming out to their own music, and the way I see it, it's Bianca
They're definitely going to split up soon.
Bianca's holding Jade's hand to try to pull her along, help her learn, get her feet wet, get her legs under her in this business, in the big leagues.
Yeah.
But then you hear Bianca in interviews say, I've done it all in this business. I've been at the top. I've held the world title. Now I just want to have fun. And this is something I've never done before. I've never been a part of a tag team, never held the tag team championship. So this is something new that I really wanted to do. Do I believe her? A little. I mean,
I think they make a good team. They're not like 100%. Like, you can see certain tag teams where they like are so smooth when they do moves together. They're not there. I don't think they're there yet. I think that Jade does mess up, here and there. She's hell of a crazy athlete. I mean, she's incredible.
Their finisher looks smooth enough. What's up, Hal? Ow, what's up, baby? Their finisher looks nice. They're really smooth with their finisher. You got two powerful women on the same team. But if they're going to be a tag team, I think they need their own entrance music as a team. Until that happens, I feel like they're going to split up eventually here.
Yes,
Bianca and Jade.
I mean, Bianca's incredible. She's just she's amazing to watch. I think that separately, like, they can still be buddies. Just maybe do their own thing eventually.
See, if they here's the great thing. If they end that alliance, if they stop this tag team eventually, they need to do it in a way that's going to make them rivals. Because seeing those two fight for the championship at the top would be fun. If Jade can get her shit together, because she is a great athlete, if she can get her shit together and be a great wrestler as well as a great athlete, that would be a nice feud to watch. That'd be a hell of a feud.
Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy to watch. They'd be pretty wild.
Okay. So Jared would like to cue Alex's wrestling.
Well, you were talking about wrestling entrances. I was like, yeah. So we got a wrestling entrance
because Jared's awesome.
Alex on the mic, shining in the night. Corey's better half, bringing truth to the fight. Replacing the legends, but bringing her game. And DT forever, it'll never be the same. Never be the same. It'll never be the same. Never be the same. So raise a toast to the fiery queen. In the ring of words, she reigns supreme.
It's so wonderful. You have your own music now.
Yeah. It just makes me blush.
It makes her blush. That's all right. You deserve it. You're wonderful. All right, on to the next match now. We're going to go for the middle match here. We're talking about Punk versus Drew. Just have Jade steal her husband. It seems to be a trend. I don't know.
That match was,
I don't know,
something else.
So, yeah. So, Drew McIntyre, CM Punk. We have the strap match. Do you want to give your thoughts first on this match? How about this first? How do you like that style of match? How did you like that?
I thought that was so strange. I've never watched one of those matches. So I just thought it was weird. I mean, I guess it's kind of a cool idea, I guess. I didn't know, I knew they had to be strapped together, but I didn't realize that they had to tap the corners, like, to win.
So they didn't mention anything about the rules before the match, right?
I don't know. I didn't see anything. I
Interesting.
don't 100% pay attention. So. I love Drew McIntyre. I don't like CM Punk. I find him so annoying. Outside of wrestling, he is fantastic. Like, he's so good to his fans. Obviously, that makes you like him a little bit, but I don't know. Like, they just beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
Like, they don't hold back.
Well, Justin and Aaron, and I think Robbie says it too, that they legitimately hate each other in real life. And it might be a little bit less now. There might be a little bit more respect there now, I think. I don't know, man. I don't like the style of match personally, but it was a good match. Yeah. I thought it was really good.
Definitely something different.
CM Punk, though, man, it's funny how much alike we are and how much more we think alike over the years, because I'm not a fan of CM Punk as a wrestler either. I don't think he's that great. Justin's all about storytelling. He says, I would take a guy that's better on the mic. And Aaron says it too. Take a guy that's better on the mic over a guy who's good in the ring any day. If you could talk a good game, like, at that point, you might as well just be a fan of the fucking managers, but whatever. I just don't think CM Punk is all that great. I am a Drew McIntyre fan.
He sure gets his ass whooped. He's really good at it. Like, he takes it.
Those guys, they really did go all out in that match. The pure hate they have for each other and the fact they can work together and keep it professional makes it an awesome match, Robbie says. Yeah, for sure. Howell says Drew and Punk hate each other in real life, but there's definitely more respect between them now. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
The whole bracelet thing, though.
Yeah, that match.
That's gone on too far.
Yeah, that match was I think that match was really good. It was one of the better matches of the night, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd probably put it at number 2. I knew that Punk was going to win. Drew won the first match. Punk won this one. You're going to have a rubber match that ends the feud. And we're going to get into what happened on Monday Night Raw when we're done with the Bash in Berlin stuff. Yeah. So hold tight. Hold on to your goddamn panties. We're going to get there. Don't worry. I don't really know how else to break this down. Like, they beat the shit out of each other. CM Punk went for 3 go-to-sleeps at the end there to go around the ring and hit each corner. It's crazy to me, though, the way they do this match, because both of them had opportunities to win the match earlier in the match.
Yeah, but they wanted to make it a nice, long, entertaining one.
Them quit yelling at me. It was good. It ended how I expected it to end, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought someone was going to get a lot more hurt during that match, though. I really did.
Yeah, I mean, they do tend to be bleeding when they're done fighting each other. Even if it's fake, I don't
know. The one part in that match that I thought was funny was when Punk got thrown out of the ring and the strap came off of his wrist. And from that camera angle, you could see the referee trying to help him get the strap back on. And he was going to put it on the right wrist. And Punk's like, no. And he like slides it over onto the otother wrist, which I thought was really funny.
Like, oops, wrong camera.
Yeah, whoops. But the other thing that I found interesting, I don't know if anybody else saw this, but when you...
Yeah, same.
I still love when Drew does the Claymore.
Drew is definitely like one of my top favorites.
I saw an image of before the PLE, before Bash in Berlin, where everybody's gathering around the ring. You know, it's before people are in their seats. And you can see all the wrestlers there, and you see Drew McIntyre standing with CM Punk. Now, was that Bash in Berlin or was that Raw last week? I can't remember. But I like the realism that you're getting out of WWE now. Back when I was a kid, I don't remember seeing that kind of stuff.
No, they didn't, because they didn't want to break, kayfabe or whatever they call it. But
so can I talk about that too?
I don't
I hate all these words, and I know that it's been around for a while now. Kayfabe, character, kayfabe, character. They break character, break kayfabe. Why do we have all of these words in the wrestling world that already have words for them? We're just making shit up now to sound cool, like calling people marks. We're calling fans marks.
I don't know.
It drives me nuts. Like, seeing the online wrestling fan community pisses me off. I hate reading everything from a lot of fans.
I know.
I really
I'm a comment reader.
So,
and it's bad.
When I make comments about wrestling online, when I go to a post and make a comment, or when I'm on here and making a comment, I'm commenting on the wrestling or the wrestler, the people that are presenting themselves to us to be judged. They're in the public eye. They are an entertainer. We are here to judge them. Without us, they don't have shit. Okay, so I'm doing that.
Okay.
There are people on these posts that are just like going off on each other, and they're talking shit about each other. Like, if you just like, all right,
people in general, people hate each other.
Yeah, unpopular opinion. I can't stand Gunther. But if I go onto a post and talk about that, I'd get ripped apart and be told I don't know anything about wrestling. Hey, fuck you, Corey. Like, that's an opinion.
Also, I agree, Robbie. Like, that part was ridiculous. It's like, oh, here, kiss your your ball sweat bracelet.
They did that the last time too, and I was laughing at it.
I was like, when we went to Aaron's, when he pulled it out of his shorts, I was like,
yeah,
oh, dude, he just put that to his mouth. Like, that's your junk. Like, why?
We said it before. We got it. He got it wrapped around like a,
There's still sweat getting in there.
Howell, it's crazy though, isn't it? It's crazy to me. But yeah, they hit all that back then. I love that you're seeing it now. I love when they break character a little bit now. Like Randy Orton, when him and Gunther were in the ring, there was a moment that like Orton stopped and like appreciated what the fans were doing.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I watched NXT last night. Chelsea Green came out. Okay, during the end there, they had something going on with Roxanne and the new wrestler Julia. But Chelsea Green came out and she's coming to the ring. She's doing her heel thing and she's like making fun of the crowd. And she's coming up the steps and the fans start chanting her name. And she stopped for a second and looked around, and you could tell that shit caught her off guard.
Yeah, because she's usually like, everybody hates her.
Yes,
she's
a heel and she's not used to being cheered for. So she showed a real moment there. Yeah. I love seeing these real moments. I love it. And people were pissed off when Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six made their debut. And then that night after Raw, they went to a burger place and took a picture with a fan. They weren't in character. They were smiling. People were pissed off. They're like, I can't believe you'd be smiling. You're supposed to be this scary faction. How are you doing? Listen, you don't believe this is real, right? You know this is an act, correct?
So if we were in public and we met one of these wrestlers, Lena likes like some of the heels, she's whatever. Just say we met Rhea Ripley. She's obviously not going to be like mean to a little girl.
Yeah.
Like if she was mean to her kid, I'd be like, I don't really want to watch you wrestle. I don't know.
Absolutely, Howell. And Randy Orton is definitely one of my favorite wrestlers of all time because of who he is. I think he's funny as hell.
He is funny. He's very funny.
He's so funny. All right. On to the next match. We're going to move it on.
Nutella.
The Nutella.
Yeah.
Ripley is an absolute sweetheart. She is. It's fun watching her. So the next match at Bash in Berlin was the Terror Twins against
that match was amazing.
Dom and Liv.
Yeah, that match was awesome.
That was my favorite match of the night. It's what I was waiting for the most. Damien right now is my favorite wrestler, my current favorite wrestler in the WWE. When I started watching again and I saw his character coming out, I was like, I don't know about this guy. The more I saw him in Judgment Day, the more I saw him working, I started to like him more and more than I would see all the backstage stuff, all the social media stuff. I could see who he was as a person, started to hear about his story. I'm like, all right, I like this guy. I started paying attention a little bit more. And the more distance he created with Judgment Day, the better I knew he was going to get. And now he's just blown up.
I think you just really started to see his like personality and his character more as he got away from them, because I feel like they held him back.
Yeah. Well, it's not that they held him back. They held his character back. He couldn't reach his true potential while he was in the Judgment Day. So after this Judgment Day thing, I hope they know what to do next with Damian Priest, because
Yeah.
I want to see, and I know he's a little bit older, but I want to see him hold that title at least
He's
one
in,
more time.
Incredible shape, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's in the best shape of his life.
yeah,
If you've
absolutely.
seen his story.
We watched that show.
Yeah. That special on him.
He had like one of those
fantastic.
You know, how they
Go
say
watch it.
blow up. Like,
Yeah.
he used to not really he used to be kind of a homely dude.
Yeah.
He's actually pretty he's a decent looking guy, and I don't know. I like him. I like his character.
Yep.
He's fun.
Yeah. And
that whole match though is just great.
You want full heel from Priest? Priest isn't going to be full heel for a while now. He was heel in Judgment Day. He just turned face. And you know what? Rhea Ripley was so damn popular. She could not continue being a heel with Judgment Day. That's why this split happened, because they saw Priest gaining ground with the fans, and they saw Rhea Ripley. I mean, she already had it with the fans. She's got that aura about her. She's got that it factor. She needs to be a babyface. And Priest, he's right up there with her now. He needs to be a babyface.
I love them together. I think that they're such a great team.
Yeah, his anger is working for him.
Absolutely.
They need to feed him. They need to give him something good to work with. But that match was so good. And the way it ended, it was so perfect. I kind of was hoping for another thing to play out. I know they don't usually play out with stories on the PLEs. I was hoping for it on Monday night. Still didn't get it. So they're continuing with the Wyatt 6 and Alpha Academy, or not Alpha Academy, American Made. They're still continuing with that shit. I was really hoping to see Wyatt 6 go after Judgment Day after this matchup. I really was.
Yeah, I've seen all of. Oh no. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was how Priest and Ripley is like old school Triple H in China. Dominic doesn't even have to wrestle. He gets his Unreal. I love it. I keep saying I love Dominic.
Corey likes Dom. I
love him.
I mean, he's good at what he does. He's great.
And that's it.
He makes you hate him. He's fucking awful looking. Dude, that mustache.
He's getting.
Somebody needs to slap that off.
He's getting better in the ring, though. He keeps getting better in the ring.
He is. He's just. I think he's still awkward in his body. He's very long and lanky, and I just think sometimes he's so awkward. I'm kind of over the love story thing though. I think it's just annoying, but I hate Liv. I've hated Liv since I started watching wrestling again. I think she's just trash. I just hate her.
Listen,
she's good at what she does. Hate her still.
That story did shit to me though. Okay, because I was not a fan of most of the Judgment. I mean, I liked what they do, but I rooted against them. Yeah. So when Liv started going on her revenge tour, I was Team Liv. I was like, go ahead, get yours, girl. Get it. But the more they went with it, the more I was like, all right, Rhea, kick her ass.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get it.
Yeah.
So the way that they did that, they made me flip-flop on who I was cheering for in that.
Yeah,
They really did.
When I first started watching, I'm like, all right, I don't get the whole Rhea thing. Why are guys so into her?
Brian, my favorite wrestling move is one that I have not named yet. It's my finisher. We're not going to talk about it here, though, okay? We're not going to talk about it here. All right. Kairi Sane, I'm a fan of hers. I like Kairi Sane.
She's
I don't know.
a badass.
She is.
Yeah.
But she reminds me of a little anime woman, so of course I like her.
His Asians.
Yeah, Alex knows I like my Asians. But anyway,
I did love that when they took.
We'll talk about Kairi in a minute.
And they did the same move at the same time.
Yeah,
I thought that was awesome, and just the fact that they kicked. I hate Carlito, so anybody kicking Carlito, I'm way behind that.
So she's talking about when Rhea and Priest had both of them up with the Razor's Edge in the middle of the ring. So here's my thing. I know he's using it because of Razor Ramon. And he talks about it in the Chris Van Vliet podcast he did. I was listening to that a little bit today. How, when he was a kid, he used to think Razor Ramon was actually Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
But I really think they missed there. I think he missed by continuing to call it the Razor's Edge. His name is Damian Priest. You need to just call it what it is. The Crucifix Powerbomb.
Yeah.
Or the Crucifix Bomb.
His own thing.
Right?
Yeah. But either way, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
I liked when Judgment Day tried to come interfere and they got their asses whooped because they deserved it.
Yep.
Freaking Finn in that angry face of his.
Allison says, hi guys. I don't know the first thing about wrestling, but had to pop in to say hi and see Alex. So Allison, let me tell you about wrestling. I know a lot of people like to rib on wrestling, professional wrestling now. But let me tell you, it's like watching an action movie with storylines every week. We understand that wrestling is fake. You have to understand that wrestling is fake too. It is all scripted. It is all predetermined. It is all choreographed.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, people would get hurt. Don't let people tell you that it's boring though. If you give WWE a chance, you will see a lot of different stories that might catch your eye. Maybe there's a wrestler that'll catch your eye, right? Right?
Sure.
Miss Randy Orton lover. Anywho,
I think Drew's better looking than Randy.
and she doesn't want me to grow my hair out, but Drew McIntyre's okay.
Yeah, but
Anyway, we're gonna go on to the last match. The main event of the evening, Gunther versus Randy Orton. Wrestling is not fake.
also,
Corey.
Robbie, I think
Dude,
Finn Balor's he's very athletic. He's a good wrestler. I just don't like him.
We're gonna get to Kyrie Sane and how real wrestling is right after this.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this could be interesting. It's very interesting, Allison. So the last match, Gunther versus Randy Orton. Let's get to it. I'm going to start with this one. I get all the heat because I'm not a fan of Gunther. I think he looks awkward in his own body. Everybody says that he is a phenomenal wrestler. He is old school. He is a technician. I don't see it. And maybe I need to give it more time. Maybe I have to just let it all happen. But I'm not falling in with the it crowd. I'm not just saying shit because it's trendy to say it. I'm not a fan. Listen, Gunther worked his ass off to get where he is. I am not saying he didn't do that. I can see from what he was to what he is. From when he was a 14-year-old punk chubby kid with green hair to where he is now. Big difference. Big difference.
Yeah.
Yes, he's worked at his craft, but I'm not a fan. He can do his thing. He can, y'all could think he's great. That's fine. I don't think he's that spectacular. I think they missed a chance for a good story between Orton and Cena for Cena's farewell tour next year. Gunther ends up winning. I don't like how I would have been okay with it had he hit a couple power bombs in a row on Orton and pinned him.
Yeah.
Orton has lost to pins before. I don't recall Orton ever tapping out or passing out. I don't recall that ever happening.
I feel like he's too much of a badass for that move.
Yes.
To take him down.
So here's my problem with the sleeper. And Justin and Aaron like to make fun of me for this shit, but I'm not a fan of the sleeper hold. Ever since I was a kid, in professional wrestling, the sleeper hold was a move that these wrestlers would implement to give each other a breather.
Yeah,
when you're in a big match like that, you're in a long match, you get winded, you get tired, your cardio's got to be fucking phenomenal. And that sleeper hold gives you 30 seconds to a minute to breathe and get that shit back. That's what it's meant for. Now, I know people are going to come at me. Yeah, but if you use a rear naked choke in MMA, you could put someone out. I get that. But again, you're not really fighting. This is a tale as old as time, man. Sleeper holds have never been meant to put people out, to win matches. That's not what it's made for. If Gunther had done powerbomb, then lifted him up again and powerbombed him again, fine. I'm cool with it. I'm not happy with the way it ended.
No,
and that's just me.
I'm just not a Gunther. I think he bores me. I don't think he's that entertaining. I also thought he was like well in his 40s. He looks much older than he is. I don't know. He just doesn't do it. I feel like he's boring, and I felt like that was a shitty way for Randy to lose. I mean, obviously Randy has like massive respect for him. You could see that, but I don't know. I just didn't think it was that exciting. I didn't like it. Yeah. I thought the only exciting parts were because of Randy.
So, Robbie, you're not feeling it. You don't see how they can say he's the future. I get that. I agree with that because he's almost 40 as well. How are you the future if you're not a young wrestler? I don't understand that part. Howell says Gunther is one hell of a wrestler. Personally, I don't see it. And now I'm not saying that every wrestler has to be a high flyer, high octane. I'm a fan of like the grappling style of wrestling. I like the moves. I like a fisherman suplex, a German suplex, a side suplex. I like when they throw each other around in the ring. They're not just punching, slapping, and then a power bomb and a sleeper hold. You're done.
Chopping, babe, chopping. That's what he does.
Yeah, slapping. Exactly, like I said. But yeah, Robbie, Orton was putting Gunther over. I figured that out once the bell rang at the end of the match. I get that. I was really hoping with the way they talked it up, with the way they talked Randy up. Yeah. He's a 14-time champion.
Yeah. I thought that was a little weird. I thought he was definitely going to win it for that reason.
Because John Cena has 16 world titles.
Yeah.
Randy Orton's got 14. Yeah. And if he won 15, that brings him closer to Cena. And then if he lost it and won it again, then they're both at 16.
Yeah.
Now Cena's in a race to break Flair's record before Orton does. And I thought that would have been a cool story.
Yeah.
But now I see that them saying it that many times was really talking up Orton so that when Gunther won,
it made him look better, I guess.
yeah. How do you guys feel about the handshake at the end? Do you like that? I saw some people say that that's not Orton's character. He doesn't shake hands after a match that he loses. I thought it was all right.
I mean,
though.
I like that they show respect to each other. I mean, I guess that's good. I don't know.
I liked it because, again, it showed the realness.
Yeah.
Right? So it showed the real side of it. Orton understood this is like a homecoming for Gunther. So he wants to show him the respect. I know Gunther extended his hand, but at the same time, Randy wanted to give Gunther his moment that he worked so hard for. Again, guys, just because I'm not a fan of Gunther doesn't mean I don't respect the fact that he's worked his ass off to get where he is. It's just, he's not my style, man. I don't find him exciting, and I think he looks awkward in his own body, especially when you see him go up to the top rope. I think when he jumps off the top rope.
He didn't do that this match, right? But that
he did. He went and did a splash in this match. But when he does that, like, he looks like he's just falling, and he looks like a toddler being thrown into a pool for the first time, learning how to swim. Yeah. That's what I think he looks like.
He's real awkward.
Listen, Robbie, Cena has to break Flair's record. He has to. Because they're trying to break, they're trying to do away with all these old records. And I feel like they're just done with Flair. I think they're just done with Flair. I think it has to happen. Nope, not happening. I feel like it has to.
I feel like John Cena is such a big, like, he's like, people just love him so much.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're going to do it just for that reason.
Right. And he's one of the biggest names ever in wrestling.
Yeah.
Maybe someday we'll see someone else that breaks that record, but
he looks just like Ernest.
Yeah, I don't know. He does look just like Ernest, dude. He's getting to that point. All right, that's enough of Bash in Berlin. That was a nice moment for Gunther. The night before, though, did you see the picture of Ludwig Kaiser as he's like waving to the crowd, and they really tried to make it seem like he was doing like the hail salute?
Why would they try to do that?
Because they caught him mid-wave, right? Like, so he's waving like this, and they took a photo of him like this. And they're like, oh, he's going crazy over in Germany. He's really feeling at home. And they're saying that he's doing this Heil Hitler fucking salute. The internet, I'm like, oh my God.
The internet's just full of people that are just assholes, and they just want to, like, have a reason to hate everything. Like, they bash on Triple H all the time, calling him Triple K. I just don't understand it.
He's such a racist.
There's people of like every nationality in wrestling. I mean, like, I think it's a lot more diverse now than it was when we were young.
Yeah.
It was mostly like old white guys, you know, like, I don't know. Now it's tons of different people. I don't get why people say that about Triple H. I feel like he's doing a great job.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoy watching.
You know what? Yeah, I've really enjoyed getting back into this, and clearly you can see that because I'm all about doing the wrestling show now. I'm all about talking about it, and it's been so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that you started watching, when I started watching again, you kind of teased me a little bit.
I know. I'd read my book, and then I'd end up watching the whole thing.
She'd be reading on the bed while I'm watching from the recliner, and I'd look over and I'd catch her staring at the screen. She'd be asking questions about what's going on. I'm like, you're into it, aren't you?
Well, I grew up watching wrestling. Like, me and my best friend Eric would watch wrestling, like, in his basement all the time. Like, all of us would watch. So obviously, I loved The Rock. He was my favorite since I was like 12.
It's an
not that big of a fan of him anymore.
It's an action movie that's been ongoing since 70 something, 80 something.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All right, we're going to move on to Raw. I would talk about SmackDown, but SmackDown happened before Berlin, and there's just really not much to say about that shit. Okay. I know Robbie really wants to do a watch party. He really wants to do that for I'm assuming for a PLE. Aaron, what's going on, my dude? The Rock is awesome. Yeah, that's her favorite.
Well, Let's see. I mean, not in wrestling so much anymore. I've always liked him.
Yeah. So let's move on to Monday Night Raw. The first banner that I have set up, Jared, you can pop that one up before we get into any of the matches or storyline shit. As promised, I'm going to mention Kairi Sane. What happened to her? When I was watching that live, my first thought was, holy shit, did she just really hit that table or was that an act? And then after the match, when I saw her get in the ring, that first picture, Jared, the number one, Kyrie 1 or Sane 1, whatever one I labeled it.
I know. I said, her eye is.
She got in Bianca's face and she starts rubbing the blood all over her face. I was like, holy shit, what happened? It was insane. Now, before we went live, I watched a video that was slowed down. Someone put it in slow motion. And Kyrie gets down and ready to jump. Once she starts to extend her legs for the jump, Isla Dawn pulled Bianca.
Yeah, so it wasn't Bianca.
So she was supposed to pull Bianca in place of her, so she didn't get jumped on. But Bianca was already in place, and Kyrie was going for Bianca. So when she jumped and she got pulled out of the way, missed her mark entirely.
Yeah.
And I don't know, in the heat of the moment, she just forgot to protect herself, put her hands down. Holy shit, she
you
cracked
don't even
it.
know she hurt herself, though. She like just got right back up in that ring like a maniac.
Dude, her name is perfect. Kyrie Sane, man, she is insane. That was a big mishap.
Yeah.
Aaron, that was a big mishap. Now, Jared, want to post the second one up? So afterwards on X, she shared a photo of herself and she put the little thumbs up. So like she's all good. But holy shit, man.
Swollen the next day.
Yeah, I can't wait to see if she's actually on Raw this week or SmackDown to see what her face actually looks like. Because god damn, dude, that looked rough. That really looked rough. All right. So then after that, I just wanted to do that as an honorable mention because she's a badass. After that, we got to the moment on Monday Night Raw when they did the Wyatt 6 segment, which is usually between 8:30 and 9 o'clock every week anymore.
Yeah.
It's pretty much on schedule, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little predictable. You're like, okay, that's going to happen.
So you got American Made in the ring with the Alpha Academy. I was really hoping they'd give Alpha Academy a win.
Yes.
Otis is just a badass.
I love Otis.
Akira Tozawa, that dude is so much better than people get him credit for.
He's just too small to actually like accomplish some of the stuff he tries to do because he's like so tiny.
Yeah. And god damn it. What's her name? What's the girl's name? Why am I forgetting her name all of a sudden? It's probably because I'm old. But she's gotten so much better in the ring. Maxine Dupree. Good Lord. Yeah. Why am I'm old, guys. Don't mind me. I like Maxine. I just forgot her name for a second.
I like that they're like three super like people that you would never pick to be together. They're like so awkward, all three of them together, but they're like they work so well. I love Otis.
Everyone loves Otis. They really need to give him a push for some kind of title.
Yes, absolutely.
Put him in the mix for the Intercontinental title. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
I really don't like him.
Lee says she pulled Bianca too hard and Kyrie couldn't adjust mid-jump. So, yes, while Kyrie looks like a little anime woman to me, she is, in fact, not an anime woman and cannot push the air and move herself mid-jump. Yeah. It just doesn't happen. But yeah, I told the same thing to Alex. I was like, Bianca was supposed to be her cushion. That's exactly how I explained it. She was supposed to cushion her and catch her as she fell. Yeah, I lost my shit too. I was like, holy crap. I can't believe that happened.
A lot of blood.
Thank you, Aaron, too, by the way, for hitting me with that Maxine Dupree. My old brain doesn't work sometimes, especially when I have a bunch of different things going on in my head. It's just crazy. I can't stand that midget looking Kurt Angle. Yeah, dude, I've said that since I started watching again. I was like, dude, is this Kurt Angle's son? Like he really looks like him.
He's just so
top to bottom, just shorter. That's it.
Like he's obviously he's a crazy good athlete. He's just so unlikable. Like he's and I don't like the Creed brothers either.
But here's the thing though, he was super likable. He was super likable before his heel turn.
Yeah. When we first started watching it,
you were like, "Oh man, I hope Chad Gable gets a shot at the IC title." I really do. He's a nice guy.
Now you're like,
yep,
he sucks.
He was one where I did not see the heel turn coming. I really didn't.
Because he's so awkward as a heel, honestly.
Yeah,
Aaron's so awkward.
Aaron, I saw that or I heard that. I loved it. I was like, "Oh my god, that's just like Kurt Angle. He really is mini Kurt Angle.
He really does look like him. It's really strange.
Absurd."
I don't.
Hi, buddy.
Jared is here with us tonight because, we got substitute co-host in here.
Hopefully the baby's being good for the
Yeah,
kids.
I hope so.
I haven't heard anything.
So anyway, with that segment, of course, you had the Wyatt 6 come back out because Chad Gable had to call them out. and said 8-man tag match next week.
Yeah, that's gonna be weird.
Which is going to be a street fight, no holds barred, whatever you want to call it. They're all the same type of match. It is a no holds barred match against the Wyatt Six, which technically means, you know, he's like, oh, go ahead and pull 4 of them, whichever 4 you want to send. Listen, man, it's going to be
hectic.
everybody. If there's no
Yeah.
DQ, what's stopping all of them from joining?
Yeah, it's also gonna be just crazy hectic.
So I mean,
That's so many people.
I hope
going
it's
at
going to
once.
be. I hope it's going to be interesting next week. I was hoping they'd be done with this since he beat Kurt Angle in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3.
Kurt Angle.
Yes,
You're
they
a
beat
dork.
Kurt Angle in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. So I thought it'd be done,
Yeah.
but it's not. So here we go. We're moving on. No, we're not. Same deal over and over again. I hope it's done soon, though.
I do
Maybe at Bad Blood, they finish this angle.
What is that?
See what I did there, and then move on to something else because I really, I just want to see them go after Judgment Day.
Yeah, I think that would be a little more exciting.
It's a good matchup because
Yeah.
Judgment Day has all this heat. They're all over the place. You got Finn with Priest. You've got fucking Dom and Liv. You got someone for everyone. Like Dom actually turned on his own father. Like that's
Yeah.
real family, not just wrestling family. So there could be some really good heat between them and Judgment Day. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be better than this angle they got going now. I don't think the Creed brothers have it. I just think they're just weird.
Dude,
That
the one
one- yeah,
he
he's
keeps
always-
pulling on the what are the names? Brutus,
Not Cletus, Brutus, and
whatever the other one
Julius?
is. Julius, yes, Julius.
Yeah.
Julius is the one that keeps tugging at his straps.
Yeah,
He
he's
takes
always,
the
like,
straps
so
off.
awkward.
He puts them back on. I'm like, who the
Yeah.
fuck is this guy? But anyway, they're athletic. They're good at what they do. They do need some work.
Yes.
Julius more so than Brutus. He's pretty good.
This is weird. I don't
Yeah.
know. He's just awkward.
So hopefully that one ends soon. I really hope that ends soon. All right, what do we got up next? We got that's the line I wanted to talk about too, with Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six. Uncle Howdy had said, "My life is no longer mine." That line stood out to me. I made sure to write it down. I was like, that was pretty interesting. All the people that are complaining about the Wyatt Six getting dull, that line should say everything. Now, people say he's insulting his brother's legacy by doing this.
He's keeping it alive.
Yes, I think that's all it is. He's trying to keep his brother's legacy alive, his brother's name alive. So while they're doing all of this, he just wants people to remember his brother.
Yeah.
Saying, my life is no longer mine. He's living for Bray Wyatt right now.
Yeah.
He's living for his brother. So I thought that was really cool. And if you don't like that, you suck.
You're a dork.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Lizette says, yay, love seeing another female that likes wrestling. Thanks for making me not feel weird anymore. Listen,
I was weird when I was like in middle school. I was like the only girl in school that liked wrestling.
ladies, if you like wrestling, you're not weird. If you're afraid to like wrestling, just tell yourself to shut the fuck up and watch it already. You just be done with it. Just
Lena
watch
decided
it. Try it
she's
out.
gonna like be in wrestling, so we'll see.
Everything he does is for his brother, and that is so honorable.
Yeah,
Exactly,
I agree.
was that exactly. All right, moving on to the next topic. Since we're at 48 minutes here, what's next? We got CM Punk coming out to call out
That
Gunther.
I
I heard that he was going to do that and go for the title.
yeah, which okay, whatever. Call out Gunther, whatever. I just think that the Drew and him just beating the shit out of each other, that I felt like that was almost unnecessary after their match. Like I just felt like that got a little crazy. They're making Drew look like a fucking wacko.
Yeah.
He just like, I like Drew and he's a great wrestler, but I felt like that was like awkward to me. Like I felt like it was too much. And it was just, I don't know, the whole bracelet thing I think is overplayed. Maybe them breaking it is finally like, okay, we're done with this bracelet. You know, we don't need to pull it out of our junk anymore. And, you know, do
Again,
all that. I don't know.
Again, the Bad Blood pay-per-view is going to be where a lot of feuds end.
When is that?
That's October 5th.
Okay.
Bad Blood is October 5th for anybody watching that is not aware. And I think that that's where you're going to squash a lot of beefs here. But yeah,
Yes.
they're really leaning hard into Punk and Drew. And I guess why not? Because it's really selling, man. It is really selling. People really like to see this with the brutality of it. And
yeah, I mean, they don't hold back.
You're-
They just
you're getting a sneak peek, a little taste of what you're going to get when WWE Raw goes back to Netflix, or goes back when it goes on to Netflix.
Yeah, it's going to be wild.
There's going to be so much more blood. There's going to be so much more carnage. It's almost going to be like watching ECW again.
I'm wild, yeah.
Yeah. We'll go wild, yeah. So that's something that I've never been a huge fan of when it comes to wrestling, is these people putting their bodies on the line for some crazy shit. Like, all right, go through tables. When I cringe when I see people go through the ladders, like,
oh, I don't like the ladder matches. Anxiety.
Ladder matches are okay, but when they like actually slam each other through the ladders, I cringe.
No, when they're all the way up high and then you see that they're gonna get knocked down, I'm like, oh God. I guess it's because I'm a mom and I just think like of things like that, but I don't know. I don't like those.
It's always
not as crazy as it was when we were kids.
It's always the true hardcore matches that get me, like the old ones that Mankind used to have, all the old ECW things with the glass and the tacks and all that crazy shit where they come out a bloody mess. Like, I understand you want to entertain, but you can take it easy. You can entertain without like killing yourself, honestly. Yeah, okay, so yes, I was gonna get to that at some point too. That was a cool moment because it was a real moment when Rhea jumped out of the ring and got tangled up in the rope just like Damien did.
Yeah.
At first I thought maybe that was planned, but then when you saw Dom's reaction, that was not planned.
I didn't think it was planned.
But
I thought it looked like, oh shit, he tried to help her.
When Liv realized that she was just tied up and her foot wasn't twisted up in a weird way, she acted quick and took advantage of it and just kept the act going like it was supposed to happen. So I thought Liv was really good in that moment. I thought Dom showed that he cared. You know, it was a real moment. And then they went back to it and kept doing their thing.
I was like, oh damn, again. Because when Priest did it, he was hanging there for a good bit, you know.
Yeah. And I thought that one was really good too, with the way Drew played it off. And he's like, I'm not going to be able to win with you stuck in the ropes. I can't win the title this way. So he went up and helped them out.
Yeah.
True professionals is right. And that's Lee. That's the kind of shit that goes underappreciated. People don't appreciate those moments.
I know, because I said something about wrestling one day and then somebody commented, was like, well, wrestling's fake, you know, right? And I was like,
allegedly.
That's always their go-to.
Yes, it's planned. They know what's, gonna happen, but they really put their bodies out there. Like, they do actually get injured and they do, they know what they're doing. They are professionals.
Yeah. So CM Punk calls out Gunther, wants to challenge him for the title. Drew McIntyre comes out and puts him in his place. I was surprised Gunther didn't come out first, but clearly it's because Drew was supposed to come out and whoop his ass.
Yeah.
Whooped his ass all the way to the ambulance. Still going with that. It's going to end at Bad Blood, I think. I hope.
I hope so.
Justin thinks it's going to carry out to WrestleMania, but
that's a long time. Isn't it June?
No, April.
Oh, that's still a long time.
It is. It is. But all right, so there's that one. And then after that, you had Sami Zayn call out Gunther. Gunther comes out to cut his promo.
Sami and Gunther. I think that'd be good.
Yeah. Gunther comes out to cut his promo. Sami Zayn comes out and he's like, you know what? I already beat you.
Yeah.
I deserve a title shot. I mean, he didn't say that off the bat. He saved that for when Gunther's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Then Sami Zayn calls him out like, are you a bitch? Are you afraid to lose again? Like, that was his go-to. That was the trump card.
I like Sami. I like his energy. I think he's fun. And he has like crazy stamina. Like, I feel like that guy can just like fight forever and ever and ever.
I have mixed feelings about Sami. He's good. I could take him or leave him.
Yeah. I mean, I like him.
He's all right.
He's fine.
Sami's all right. He's okay. All right. What did I have next after that? Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, something silly, not something huge, but it's just something that catches my attention. I've thought about this for the last 2 weeks now. And it's regarding entrance music. You want to see Gunther defend against Kaiser? That would be something.
I thought something was going to happen there.
I expected Vinci to do something.
Yeah, because they kept having playing promos with him. Yeah, but then nothing ever happened.
So Damian Priest leaves Judgment Day, keeps his music. Judgment Day keeps their music. Now their video is different.
Yeah.
Judgment Day changed their video for their entrance, but it's basically still the same music as Damian Priest's without the All Rise and without Damian Priest talking throughout the song. I think one of them needs to change it. I don't know what came first, Priest's music or Judgment Day. Someone help me out with this.
Yeah, I definitely think they need to change something so that it's not so similar, because now they have like the same color scheme, kind of.
Well,
all the dark stuff. I don't know. I feel like they need to change something.
I think even if, you know, Damian Priest loves his music, that's his deal. Judgment Day didn't change. They brought in new members, but Judgment Day is still the heel faction.
But they're not like any of the original people, so they should change.
Well, okay, so I could see that point of view, but they are still the heel faction. They still need that dark music.
Yeah.
Priest is the one that changed. Priest is the one that turned face.
Yeah.
Priest has changed his entire
He should
aura.
just revamp.
Exactly. I think you can keep a similar style, but I think he needs to do something to change his music. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's something weird that I'm thinking about, but you can't leave Judgment Day and still have the same music as Judgment Day. I think someone's got to change something there.
Yeah, I agree. I think somebody should.
It's all about the little things, man. It's all about branding.
Jesus.
You son of a bitch. All right, so now I'm going to move on to Braun Breaker calling out Jey Uso in a promo backstage. Do you think that this is going to start a rivalry, or is this just to draw excitement, like drum up excitement for the Intercontinental Championship that, you know, Jey Uso is probably going to get into a match with?
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't like Braun Breaker. I know everybody loves him. I just think he's like, I don't know. I just don't like him. Yes, he's great. He's athletic. He needs to stop tanning and stop using so much bronzer. He's so awkward. I think he's so awkward. I love Jey Uso.
He's good, and he's a legacy guy.
Yes, I know, and that's why he's in there. I don't know. I hope him and Jey Uso have a fight, but I feel like their fighting styles, like, they're so different that it's probably going to be a little.
But Jey Uso uses the spear just like Braun Breaker.
Yeah. So what, are they just going to keep spearing each other? I don't know. I like Jey Uso. I think he's fun. I feel like he brings so much more to the table than Braun Breaker.
Yeah. Well, the way that Breaker keeps saying no one in your family has ever beaten anyone in my family, that's setting it up.
Yes.
And maybe they're trying to make you think that way. But listen, man, if Jey Uso loses this tournament and Jey Uso can't even win the Intercontinental title, maybe he does what his father was fucking talking about.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like he's so popular. Like, he comes out and almost nobody else gets the reaction that he gets when he comes out. And I feel like I hope they don't push this love story thing with Rhea, because I just think that's going to be stupid. They're both married. It's just dumb.
Honestly, I think that's just teasing.
Yeah, I do too. I hope anyway. But I don't know. I feel like Jey Uso needs like something. Like, he needs a good win. So I kind of hope I hope he gets the Intercontinental. I think that'd be great. I think he'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine main event Jey Uso actually holding a title belt when he comes into the ring to yeet for everybody.
Yeah.
Like a solo title
he's
belt.
owed it at this point.
He's definitely earned that. So that leaves me with our final topic of the night. We're going to have the Fatal 4-Way #1 contender match next week for the Intercontinental title. It is all set with Ilya Dragunov, Pete Dunne, Jey Uso, and Braun Strowman. So Dragunov got in by beating Dragon Lee. I'd say he also beat Dominic Mysterio, but he ran off when Priest came down to stop the interference, I thought that was crazy. I didn't know he would actually run from the match. I thought maybe Dom would snake his way in with a last-second jump in for a pin.
Yeah, I actually thought that Dom was going to win that one just because he's like real sneaky like that. Like, Liv would help him and then he would win. But
I also knew that they've been trying to push Dragunov. And he's another guy that I know a lot of you like, and I find him to be bland. Just because he screams does not impress me. He's got so much energy. He bounces off the ropes and does a spinning clothesline, and then he does a forearm to the face as his finisher. I
feel like they just need a couple people in the match that aren't going to win. Like, that's why I think Pete Dunne made it. Because, like, obviously you think either Jey Uso or Braun Strowman's going to win. Yeah. So you want that, like, you need those other people that are just kind of like, meh. So we don't care if they lose.
Braun Strowman is another one of my favorites.
Yeah, I love him.
I think that they're putting him in the match just to make the winner look better.
Yeah.
That's what I think. He's gonna be a part of it, but they're gonna take him out. He's not gonna win the match. As much as I would like it, they have to give Jey Uso the push. They really do. Braun Strowman replaced Bronson Reed in this match, which I think is crazy because Reed's the one that jumped on top of him on top of a fucking car.
I didn't like that because I didn't like them trying to like make Braun Strowman look kind of like a bitch just because he's like a gigantic monster.
So this is what it boiled down to with that situation is these are two monsters and they're trying to talk up Bronson Reed. They're trying to push him up. I read something the other day that made me go, maybe it's not about getting Bronson Reed a title. So I read that back in 2021, Bronson Reed mentioned how he would like to be a part of the bloodline for Roman. So,
I mean, I guess
if when Roman Reigns officially comes back, if he wants to go to Raw and hook up with Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, and
I think Jimmy's coming back
maybe
Friday.
Maybe since they're making Bronson Reed look so damn strong, put him as the enforcer.
Yeah. Because I mean,
you need someone to go up against
Fatu. Yeah,
you need someone to compete with Fatu. You really do.
He's a monster.
Strowman is a placeholder from what I read. Bronson Reed has. Oh, yeah, it's because he had COVID.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. Yeah, they said something about
I don't like Bronson Reed. I just feel like I wish he wouldn't wear that outfit because nobody needs to see that.
That would be something. You might be right with that, Lee, too. But what's he going to take him out before the match? Because that match is this upcoming Monday.
I don't know.
And if Bronson Reed is in the match, do you see it going differently? Do you see Bronson Reed winning that match and going up against Breakker? Or do you still see Jey Uso as taking it?
They all have so many
What's up,
names.
Jordan? What's up, Scoops? I rarely ever called you Jordan.
I know. It's hard to call him Jordan because we're so used to
it's so weird.
I don't know. I definitely hate Pete Dunne. You zip it. Pete Dunne looks like a girl. It also looks like he's wearing a child's onesie. So like sometimes I have to do a double take because I'm like, who's that lady in there? And then I'm like, oh wait, it's just Pete Dunne. I just don't like him. But I feel like they just needed that extra person in there that is not going to win. And I wish that he would stay on NXT and go away.
Yeah. All right. So there you have it. We think Jey Uso is going to go up against Braun Breakker in the end here for the Intercontinental title. I think Bash in Berlin was a decent pay-per-view. It could have been better. I hope they have something better planned for Cody Rhodes coming up in the future here. He's got to get somebody that gives him a real run for it or creates more of creates a better atmosphere for that title match. He needs a good heel to go up against. He really does.
He does.
Yeet.
Oh, I heard a little kid in the dollar store the other day go, yeet. And I knew. Eli's like, no, they're probably just saying that. And I was like, no, they said it like Jey Uso. And Eli doesn't watch wrestling. So he's like, okay, whatever, Mom. But I didn't see what kid did it. I went a couple aisles. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So, guys, just to let you know, for those of you who are wrestling fans, I'm trying to expand my horizons. I've watched a little bit of NXT the past 2 weeks. I've even tried out AEW. In fact, I'm going to go down and I'm going to try AEW again. One, because my guy Ricochet's over there now. I got to watch him.
Love Ricochet.
And then I saw a video of Mercedes Moné, a.k.a. Sasha Banks, formerly of the WWE, posted a video of her warming up for one of her matches. And it was her doing Shinsuke Nakamura's intro. So there's a possibility that she's hinting at the fact that the King of Strong Style might be heading to AEW. You never know. But I'm trying to broaden my horizons, watch a little bit more and see a little bit more and give you guys a little bit more content aside from the WWE, since the other two hate everything else. So we're gonna learn everything over here, okay? We're gonna bring it all to you. How's that sound? I hope that sounds great.
Do you know who Ricochet is?
Ricochet's great.
Because you guys look like you could be related.
Scoops. Rhea could get it. End
Scoops
story.
loves
By
Rhea.
Cody is being planned for a TNA showdown. The two companies are working together, just like Forbidden Door. Lee, the other thing about TNA, I just saw last night that Jordan Grace put out an open challenge to the women's division at NXT for next Tuesday night. She is going to defend her TNA title Tuesday night on NXT, since they are going to be on USA, all of them.
Looks like they froze. They'll be right back. I don't know anything about wrestling. Let's see if I can get them back in here. Hold on. All right. Looks like they're restarting. 1 second. We do love you, Scoops. Hey, Badger.
You spilled water. You need to clean it up.
Hi, Lisa. I talk wrestling, but I don't do wrestling. So I think Corey got me doing one episode I watched when I was in Pennsylvania. Hey, Gemma. 1 second, guys. They are loading back in. I know like 4 wrestlers. What's going on, Hal? This is where I need technical difficulty music. Elevator music. About crickets. Customer service. There we go.
So I don't know if you saw my comments in chat, but I was in the midst of doing my outro.
Whoa. Whoa.
I had to turn it up so I could hear you. But I was in the midst of doing my outro and saying my goodbyes and telling people to come check us out again on Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this screen went green and that screen went red. It was like Christmas over here, and I don't know what the fuck happened.
It was purple.
It was purple and red. Or so I don't know what happened. It was fucking weird.
I don't know. That was weird.
Guys, this is why it's a great idea to sponsor the show and to head on over to ndtpodcast.com/shop. Get yourself some cool gear. Support us. Help us to get some better equipment so technical difficulties like this do not happen again.
Yeah.
Yes, Honey Badger. There were colors and shit happened. 100%.
We were watching on
Ridiculous.
the screen as we froze on there. Well, Corey froze.
It went crazy, and I was like, the fuck? But anywho,
You
that
can't
was
do
gonna
this
be
on
the
a
end of the
wrestling show because I can't hold it down. Like,
hey, man, I was trying to do an outro and say, hey, see y'all later, guys. We'll see you again on... No, it's Monday night this upcoming week, isn't it? Yes. Monday night this upcoming
Monday,
week.
yeah.
Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are welcoming in the Kraken Cans cast. The guys from over there, they like to talk about cryptids and creepy shit. So make sure you tune into that. They talk Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, the Kraken, all kinds of fun stuff. Make sure you tune in for that one. I'm all hyper now and worked up. I hope you guys enjoyed getting some content from my lovely wife, Alex, here. I think she
Yeah,
did
they
a
said that
fantastic job.
she needs to be on more episodes of NDT.
I have more input than Justin.
maybe would you guys be interested in a husband and wife episode, or not episode, husband and wife show where we talk about all kinds of shit?
We got a free night.
Maybe we'll get dirty and
Yeah.
kinky with it too. Who knows?
We got
I
one
will
in
not
October.
be doing that.
I could.
I will not be doing that.
So yes, guys, make sure you head on over to NDT Podcast, ndtpodcast.com/shop. You get all of our awesome merch, as well as a couple of different fantastic people / streamers with their own gear over there. You can check out all kinds of stuff over there, get all the lowdown. Make sure you follow us over on TikTok and everywhere else, guys. We are just we're just trying to blow up everywhere. So make sure you follow along, hang out, have a good time, and hopefully we see you all next time. Later.
Alex on the mic, shining in the night.